Wild Things Games. This is Charles. How may I help you?
Yeah. How you doing? Are you busy right now? Is it kind of, you know?
How can I help you? What's up?
Yeah. So, can I bring some people in there, like my kids?
Yeah, you can bring your kids in.
Because if you're gonna have cards out there that got nudity and things on them, they can't see that though.
No, we don't have that type of stuff here.
But the last time I was there, I saw people flipping cards over that had all sorts of adult themes on them.
Well, that's typically not happening here, and I guess if that actually happens, you can let us know, and we can handle it accordingly.
Because, you know, I want to teach my kids these things. If they see a card flip over, and then they see the adult content, I can't stop it. I can't be there in time.
Did you need help with anything at all?
Yeah, I want to make sure this is a safe place. This isn't some sort of sexual place.
No, it's a safe place. And this is a family-oriented store, so if that's actually ever taken place, then you know, let one of the associates know, and we can take care of it.
This is an Oriental place?
No, this is not an Oriental place.
You just said it was a family-owned Oriental place. Is you sure this is the
family-oriented?
Do I have the right place?
Family-oriented. Do you know what the word oriented means? It's a family establishment.
Excuse me? I'm just confused. I mean, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. You're saying these kids aren't part of my family?
No, never said that.
Well, you're alluding that, you know, that I can't take care of my kids or something.
I said this is a family establishment. Never said anything else otherwise.
Well, I said I was going to watch my kids, and you said that doesn't happen. And it does happen. It happens every day. I watch over them very closely.
I didn't say you didn't watch over kids. I said people with nude cards doesn't normally happen. That's what I said.
I took them out of school.
It actually happens here in the store. If you let one of the associates know, we can handle it.
Okay, can you just make sure the people, if I can just get a peek at everybody's cards before they flip them over, just so I see if there's any adult content on there?
That's not something that's possible to do. All right.
Why not?
You have a good day. Okay?
Why?
Right.
Come on. This is not fair to my kids.
How can I help you?
I just was disconnected with somebody who hung up on me saying discriminatory things about my family. Sir?
Yeah, no, so, I was kind of there for the whole conversation, and Charles isn't that kind of guy.
Well, what do you mean? You're listening in on my conversation?
I mean, when he's on the phone and I'm working right next to him, I kind of hear something.
Yeah. Well, you mean you're being discriminatory towards me? You're being discriminatizing towards my family?
First off, none of that was discriminatory, sir. And
how do you
Charles
know?
Never made any remarks that were either rude or anything towards your family.
He was saying that my kids are just going to have to experience whatever adult content that they want to show them, that he wants to show them. Now, I don't appreciate that.
Okay, that's not at all what he said.
That's
sir.
Exactly what he said. I heard him loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm sure. That is definitely not what he said.
I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked right now. I'm electrified with
I can't believe that you're shocked about
I'm flabbergasted.
What you're saying.
I'm blown away by this. I mean, you're telling me that my kids are just going to see whatever adult content. He said, well, if it happens, it happens. It depends on the child. I don't accept that.
I don't think that's what he said.
I was right here on the phone. You might have been standing there, but I'm on the phone.
Well, maybe it's a misunderstanding. I mean,
no, I wasn't. Really I wasn't standing. I was on the phone.
Adult content here. It's a family store. We're here for all ages.
I'm in great standing, but I wasn't standing. I was on the phone. But I have a great standing as a father to my children. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're telling me that their kids are going to see adult content in there, and you don't have any sort of indication on Google about adult content.
Okay, so let's try to pull this back and get on the same page. So where's the adult content thing coming from? Because I don't know what we're talking about in terms of that, because there's not really adult content unless you're looking at like one or two specific board games that we have.
Yeah, when you
generally we steer kids away from those. That way, it's not that kind of thing.
But if people are in there and they're flipping cards over, they got adult content. Once the card flips, they can't see. They can't help but see it. And and the person I was talking to, he said he was going to show them the cards personally.
That's not what he said, sir. And also, I don't know what you're talking about in terms of adult content for the card games, because all the card games that we have here are rated for, anywhere from PG 10 and up. And the majority of those card games will have the warning on there, PG this and up, which nothing in here is going to be rated R for that matter.
The cards have ratings? Well, I didn't see anything like that, but he was telling me he was going to show my kids. He said whatever happens, happens. Depends on the child, I guess.
That's not what he said.
He said it depends on the child.
I really appreciate it if you wouldn't talk about my associates that way.
Excuse me, I'd appreciate it if you don't talk about my children that way, sir.
We never mentioned anything about your kids, sir. You're the one who keeps saying that we are targeting your children, and I remember absolutely none of that being towards your children.
But then what do we do here? Can you just make sure they flip the cards over just a little bit slower, or I can just take a peek before they get flipped?
But what are you talking about in terms of flipping cards over?
If a card gets flipped over...
in terms of like the Magic the card game, or...
If a card gets flipped over, okay, you see the other side of it once the back hits the table. Once it hits the table, you can see the other side of the card.
Yeah, I get that, but none of the cards here are going to be to the point that it's going to be traumatizing for a child or anything that would be something that's inappropriate for a child to see.
It's a reveal, and you're revealing things to my child that haven't been registered in their psyche yet, and I'm going to be the one that takes care of that.
Are you on drugs?
Excuse me, sir. No, I don't do drugs. I've been sober for 13 years, going on 14 years, and the only thing I do is vape.
This conversation is not going down a normal path, sir. Because let me tell you something. Anybody who comes in here to play those kind of card games, I mean, you should already know about the card games. And first off, none of it's going to be stuff where it's going to be targeting your children or revealing anything to them that is inappropriate for them to see. And you're insinuating that we are targeting your children or doing anything that would be inappropriate towards them, and that's not okay.
But you're saying that these are games. I mean, they're targeted for kids in the first place, and you're selling the ones that have the adult content.
We're definitely not selling adult content to kids.
But
I'm failing to understand where you're thinking that we're doing stuff like that.
But you have the cards with the adult content, and once it's revealed, it's registered and remembered in their mind.
Yeah, you keep saying that. When is this happening? I don't.
When the card flips over, when it's the reveal.
Yeah, okay, I get that. You keep repeating that.
Well, you don't seem to understand, and you're an employee of a card store.
Yeah, I am.
So you don't understand?
None of that ever happens.
Well,
so
your cards don't have two sides?
How this has happened with you.
Your cards don't have two sides to them?
Yeah, actually, in order for a card to be a card, it has to have two sides. It has to have a back and a front. The front's going to have pictures on it, and none of the pictures are going to be things that are going to be inappropriate for children to see.
Look, I don't want my kids out there trapping, okay? Because if they are, I'm going to come in there slapping.
All right. This conversation isn't going anywhere where it's going to be productive for us, so I'm probably just going to hang up.
No, how about this instead? How about this instead? What you should do is kind of let me take a peek at everybody's cards just before they lay them on the table.
Cool. Well, if you come in, I'm sure you can always ask people to do that, and they'd be happy to let you do that.
And I don't want that sex offender there when my kids are there.
Cool. I don't know who you're talking about.
The other person on the phone.
We don't allow
he's a child predator
into our store, so
he's a child predator.
I'm going to hang up because this is now wasting time.
This is very productive,
you
sir.
You have a great evening, sir.
I'm going to call you back in about 10 seconds. All right, let's try it. Let's try calling him back because that was pretty fun.